my YouTube friends, all the schmuppers, scumbags, perverts, casual gamers, hardcore gamers, and whatever. This is Ori saying hi again. So it's a video I'm doing about a couple of pickups that I did, arcade related. Now I know. Some of you guys complain that, and rightfully so, that I pick up too many arcade boards. And it might be true, but on my defense, I want to say that first of all, as I said before, I will not stay in Japan forever. I have plans to move abroad eventually, so I'm trying to pick up as much stuff as I can here in Japan in the Far East, which is relatively good prices, and especially with PCBs, it's a question of availability because PCBs are hard to find. I found out about it. So in my defense, I would say that I'm using my time here, to kind of build up a small collection I can defend the universe with. So a couple of like fronts, war fronts. So that one I want to sell my defense. I have a little bit of fat right now. It's a little bit of extra money, so I can invest in a couple of PCBs. And yeah, ever since I got my fucking super duper gun, I've been playing a lot of arcade games, and it's fun. I mean, it's like listening to a vinyl, It's the media is there, is present. It's fun. There's something about it. I don't know. So I'm trying to lay my defense. I'm not trying to get any shmup out there, every shmup out there, but some of them are hard to pass by, especially when they're available, in the current time and situation. So that's it. So first things first, I got a PCB that I bought from China. I got it from a Chinese seller through eBay, and it's a PCB I really wanted to get. It's a Rising game, and it is Daimahu, the famous sorcerer game. I'm sure all of you knows about it. It's a CPS2 game, and it's really legit. I mean, and I never owned CPS2. PCB before. I'm such a noob. I didn't even know if it's a JAMA or not, but of course it is JAMA. It arrived today. I bought it a while ago, but there was the Chinese New Year festivities, and they apologized. They said they're going to send it only after a couple of weeks, but they sent it, and I got it today. Now in advance, I made some research about the CPS2, and obviously there's this issue with the suicide battery. So in advance, before the PCB came, I bought 2 batteries from jamaboards.com. It arrived a couple of days ago, and the PCB arrived today from China. However, when it came, I heard a lot of noises in the bag, in the box, and it was a bad news. I was like, whoa, something is massively broken in there. And I opened it, and indeed, it was not packed correctly. I mean, the sides and the bottom had like a nice insulating foam, but the top was completely exposed. So the front, I mean the top blue part was broken. First thing I did, I contacted eBay member, and he immediately answered me. Very nice guy, very professional. He immediately answered me, and he said like, yeah, I'm sorry. I told him like, listen, it was not packed right, it came broken, I don't know what is the extent of the damage. He immediately offered me to refund half of the price, and I first thing I did is test the CPS2, and it worked, so that's good. And I told him like, CPS, the board works, what can you do? But he immediately refunded me half of the price, so it's great. I got like half price off, and it's good. I mean, it's good to know that even stuff get damaged, it happens, that's life. I mean, they made a mistake, they didn't wrap it correctly, and thing that happened. But when a seller immediately refund you half price, it makes you, it completely takes out any frustration, especially that the PCB works. He took some hit and I took some hit and everything is good. I sent him an email saying like, listen, you are a gentleman. I will never hesitate to buy from you again. Thank you very much. So first thing I did is, like you guys can see here, this was broken in a couple of pieces. So I immediately glued it because I wanted to change right away the suicide battery. So I immediately glued it. Now actually it's still drying right now, and it's not gonna win any beauty contest. Like you guys can see, I'm gonna peel off the leftovers residue of the. I got this crazy glue that I'm using. Not crazy glue, but it's like special glue for plastics, and I immediately glued everything together. So it seems pretty rigid now. I mean, there's no problem. It's not gonna win any beauty contest, but like we said, Japanese shoganai, no choice. And most of the pins were broken, were out of place. Some of them broken into, some of them were completely out. So I glued every piece, every plastic piece around, and it seems like it's gonna hold. Everything is in order. It's still drying, but so this is being taken care of. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, but it's rigid. It's gonna work. And the PCB itself, let me just show you. So I tested it again. I waited like half an hour after I changed the suicide battery. It takes like seconds to change suicide batteries. I mean, I tested it didn't work. I hope there won't be any mishaps, but the suicide battery is right here. And I changed it. I'm going to note the date. So in 5 years, who knows where I'm going to be. I'm going to change the battery again. So I mounted it just without the top and bottom plastics, just to make sure it works and give it a run. So gameplay and everything about the game, I'm going to do another video with some gameplay, and I want to do, so it will come. So I'm not going to talk about the game itself. But talking about CPS2, I mean, Capcom being such a big company, and like you guys could see with my VOD PCB, it's a company that's a big company that has money, so they can invest in molds and design and engineering of the encasing of the motherboard and the game and everything. So like you guys can see both, and like you guys know CPS2, it's a wonderfully made encasing and product. I mean, it's wonderful. And the proof is it came from China. Even after all this, everything that it went through from China and Japan and everything, it is still alive. Even if just the plastic broke, and I just glued it back. So it's great. So like you guys know, CPS2 has a motherboard, which is in the bottom. It has a fan, very noisy fan, but once you turn the volume on of the game, you can't hear it anymore. Obviously, our arcade parlors have a lot of noise, so you will never hear the fan. But it makes total sense. I mean, if you're building like a robust encasing, you need to give it air and ventilation. So it makes perfect sense. So I'm not sure which one is A and B side, doesn't matter. So that's great. I mean, very robust encasing. This is the JAMA connection right here for those of you guys who doesn't have any experience with CPS2. So it's fantastic. Also, there's on the bottom. Let me just find it. If I can find it. Right here. I had to open this motherboard also because one of these buttons fell in. I mean, it was missing. It was inside. It also broke. So with some hot glue gun, I used hot glue gun in specific places, and it clicks. Yeah, it has a clicking sound. It works. So this one is fixed also. But that's the amazing part about it also. It's got a test button, which gives you all the options about changing the difficulty of the game, a grid to set up your geometry, every type of all the best bells and whistles, the bees and knees. It's got all the razzle dazzle settings. You can think about even changing rotation of the screen. It's really fantastic test menu, and I'm really happy that it's got a test menu button because, like for example, Strikers, Psycho did not incorporate a test menu button. So this is here, and you can control the volume and everything is really comfortable to reach. So fantastic. Thank you, Capcom. Hopefully there won't be any shit happening with this, but um, very good. I'm very glad pick up half price. I can live with some. Who cares about if it's a little bit ugly or not? Come on. I'm not a mint condition type of fella, right? And the next pickup I did, I made a purchase. Now there's three arcade shops in Akihabara. There's Mac Japan, which I'm not doing business anymore. I think these guys are creepy. Most people that works in Akihabara are kind of creepy because they deal with creepy people all the time. So it's kind of like wash off. So they kind of look a little bit creepy sometimes. But Mac, I think those guys are creepy, and I'm not doing business with them anymore after they refused to refund my money for a cable. After I spent a whole bunch of money there, they refused to refund a cable. So I'm not doing with them business anymore. I'm not shopping there. Then there's G-Front. Some people say it's more expensive. I didn't find it more expensive. I find it actually cheaper than Mac, which are they're nice and they took care of me, no problem. And there's Try also. I mean, that's the third store that sells PCBs, and I never bought this stuff before, but I went there, and because I saw on the list that they have a shmup that looked pretty interesting. I was considering either buying like one shmup I don't remember, and Stoneblade, and those two shmups had on the reviews had problems saying that they were beautiful shmups, but saying that there's a problem with the playability. The game's kind of like kind of too easy, and there's one thing I cannot stand is a shmup that is not challenging. And I mean, gameplay is the most important part of any shmup. You take example Namco's games. I mean, they are graphically as simple as possible, all kind of like squarish sprites and everything, but the playability is awesome, the challenges are awesome. That's what makes Namco games so great. So eyewash is not the most important part, so I decided to go for Viper Phase 1, which you can see here. I read a little bit about it. It was, I think it's one of the first PCBs that came with the concept of a motherboard in the game. So I think this is the motherboard on the bottom, and the game itself, it is attached to it. It's also double decker. So all those I think it's like one of the first double deckers, and maybe, I'm not sure, but it was considered a pretty strong operation system, a pretty strong hardware for Viper Phase 1. And originally I saw this game in Mac, and I read on the reviews that it's a Raiden in space, so I didn't buy it. And then I saw it again, I read some more reviews about it, and then I saw that they had it on Try, and I decided to go for this game because it looked really good. And it's like a spin-off. It's not officially a Raiden game. It's a spin-off, and it works really nice. I mean, there's no problem. There's no dip switch, so I guess it has test menu. It was not expensive, and the resolution is a little bit weird. It's kind of like smaller resolution. My Ikegami tried to stretch it as much as it could, but it still doesn't fill the whole screen. So a little bit too bad, but it doesn't make a big difference. The game is challenging and good. It plays like a Raiden. It's a Seibu game, so it is a Raiden game, sort of. There's only one spaceship, and you can find it in one of the more recent Raiden games. I would not invest in any other Raiden games because I got all of the versions. These are the Xbox 360, which is a fantastic port, or PC Engine, or all these ports that count. So I would not buy any one of those, but this one had no port on any console, and it plays a little bit different, and the graphics are amazing. I mean, it's very detailed. The music is pretty good. The game is very challenging. It's an amazing game. Only complaint I have is a little bit strange weapon system. You only get like one type of kind of like a Vulcan forward shooting weapon. That's the only thing you get, and you get like secondary weapon. here and there you get, like, of course, obviously you get upgrades for your basic weapon, but you get also secondary weapon. But once you get it, you can use it and it runs out pretty fast. You can only use it for like 10-15 seconds maximum, depending how much you press it. And those secondary weapons are pretty cool, pretty awesome. You got a laser and napalm, which is a very, very strong and cool laser, and spread shot and missiles. All these weapons are pretty cool, and most of them you can see in the Raiden jet or Raiden fighters. Some of them they kind of like come back except of the napalm. I'm not sure, but they're pretty cool. But they ran out pretty fast, so it's pretty strange. I know there's like a second version of this game that I think the secondary weapon don't run out, but they're not fully charged. I'm not sure, but that's the version I could get, and I'm very happy with this game. I mean, this game has a lot to explore in it. It's really challenging, beautiful explosions, very detailed. There's many details, even in your spaceships. Like the trails that the engine leave, and when your Vulcan shoots, there's moving parts in it. It's really I'm happy I got it. It's a good addition for my collection. And the last thing I did, I changed the buttons on my when I was in try. I bought a set of buttons, like you guys can see here. It's a new set. I set two new sets of buttons on the Raijin. I put those really cool clear Semitsu buttons. I wanted to open it to see what's inside. The sticks are not joysticks are not Sanwa. They're Semitsu, but it's pretty high end Semitsu model. I haven't seen some of those for a while. I have a lot of parts in it, and they look pretty legit. Just the buttons sucked. They were not that good. It looked like kind of cheap buttons. So I really like Semitsu buttons. They're very clicky, and I love the clear. They had also Semitsu same ones, but with like LED lights underneath it. But it looks cool, but they cost 3 times. Each button costs 3 times than a normal one, and it's kind of like distracting all this light. I don't think I need it. Very happy with these buttons. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna pretty soon put some arcade gameplay of these two games. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Moshiko, you guys haven't seen Moshiko for a while, so he's right here. You want to say hi? And that's it. What else? Maybe I missed something I wanted to say, but it doesn't really matter. It's unscripted. Anyway, go fuck yourself in a good way. Always, I said, in a good way. And I'll catch you guys soon. So stay gay.